The more things change, the more they remain the same. I mean, it is ridiculous. It really is. It's laughable what's going on in the world today. It's preposterous if it weren't so tragic. If it weren't so horrendous. If it did not affect young, innocent people. Oftentimes we hear of horrific things happening to people. And oftentimes we can trace a correlation between the activity, the event which occurred, and their past, the history, or events that they may have partook of to lead to that moment. But when the victims are innocent, when the victims are blameless, when the only crime that the victims could be accused of is some harmless play on the playground, that makes it even more terrifying, even more horrific, even more unbelievable. Before I go on, I want to take a moment to remember a little boy. I think he was only about 7 or 8 years old, from my community. His name was Sanjay. And this little boy was born under not the most comfortable of circumstances, let's put it this way. But a smile was always ever present on his face. This little boy, he had a personality all of his own. Sometimes you think of children who are born with physical disabilities, mental disabilities, and you think they're just dependent. They're just vegetables. They're just there at the whims and fancies of any and everybody, hoping and begging, wishing for a little love, a little sympathy, a little empathy, a little pity even. Not Sanjay. Sanjay made it known when he was happy, when he was not happy. He was a fantastic young man on the cusp of his life, but we always knew, because of the physical disabilities that he was born with, we knew that his time with us would have been short. But I can say, I don't think that there is anybody in the community of Labrie right now who expected that he would have been gone so soon. And I think everybody who is a feeling human being, whose lives were touched even by a little bit by Sanjay, did not feel hurt and sadness at his passing. Sanjay, wherever you are right now, we love you and we will miss you. Sanjay was one of these people, one of these little boys who was very fortunate. He was very blessed. He may not have been born with riches. Maybe the spoon that he was born with in his mouth, the proverbial spoon, was a wooden spoon. But he was so blessed. And at this point, I want to personally thank a young lady who hailed from Choiseul, transplanted in Labrie by my family. And I say my family because I am one of those who believe when you marry into a family, you didn't just marry the man or the woman, you married the family, you took on another family. I want to thank my sister-in-law, Lorna Japierre, because without her, Sanjay would not have had the quality of life that he enjoyed towards the end. She insisted that his father enrolled him in the special education center in Vieux Fort. And before Sanjay passed away, Sanjay was able to communicate even more clearly. Even though he may not have been the most verbose of persons, maybe he was not the most articulate of persons, but he could say words which he could not have done before he was enrolled at the Special Education Center in Vieux Fort. So I want to thank Lorna for that. I also want to thank her for ensuring, and those of you who've been watching the show for the last 3 years, you would know that I'm Catholic and I believe in certain tenets, and I there's certain things in my faith that I follow. It may not pertain to some of you. Some of you may not have use for it, but it is my belief, it is my faith, I embrace it. And because of her, Sanjay was able to have made his first communion last year. He was loved by so many. Everybody embraced him and everybody was proud of him. So thank you, Lorna. Thank you tremendously from the bottom of my heart, and I think I speak for all of the community members of Library when I say, because of you, Sanjay had a better quality of life. His father appreciated the many times that you pulled him up and ensured that Sanjay went to school, that he attended church service, that he made his first communion, that he knew God. And I think for the most part, most of us would appreciate that he knew God, that he embraced God, and that although he may not have been at Sunday Mass as often as we would love for him to have been, but he did attend when his father sent him or brought him. And it's because of you, people like you, Lorna, that Sanjay was able to know God and to have a better quality of life. May his soul rest in peace. Having said that, it is amazing how while some children are fighting to live with every breath in their bodies, some people, adults, who claim that they have love for children, that they would bear children and bring them forth into this world, and as a part of their acculturation, as a part of their upbringing, would introduce to them weapons of mass destruction. I am certain most of you, if not all of you, may have heard of the latest mass shooting in the United States of America this past week. 17 people gunned down senselessly by a young person who was previously, if my recollection serves me well, previously expelled from school because of being in the possession of a gun and his antisocial behavior. And you will tell me, even after all of this, some parent will look at their child and say, happy birthday, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Valentine's Day, Happy Independence Day, Happy 4th of July, Happy President's Day, whatever the holiday of the day is. Here's a gift to you. And this child would be so ecstatic to the point of tears. To the point of tears. So ecstatic is she that she's literally crying because she is awarded a gun. Are we serious in this world? Are we thinking correctly? Does that make any kind of sense? Don't take my word for it. You can view the clip yourself and judge for yourself what you think, what you may.
Oh my goodness. This is crazy.
You gonna open it up?
Open it! No, wait, flip the case over. Over. Oh, I can't breathe. I'll show you how to open it. Oh, be careful. Thank you.
You're welcome. You a little bit excited?
He's crying.
I think that one's gonna fit you. We got a good size for you.
We're gonna get the bum buster on it. Oh my word. Why are you crying? You don't even understand. You're not.
Can you believe this little girl may not be more than 10 years old? But can you believe how ecstatic she is over being gifted with a gun? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, she's so excited. And did you hear her parents in the background? Are you happy? Are you ecstatic? Oh, are you excited? I mean, this is what you asking your child if she's excited about? I mean, I can understand she came home with straight A's, 4.0 grade point average, but a gun? Are we serious? Last week, a 19-year-old man wearing a mask and toting an assault rifle rampaged through his former school in Florida. And guess when? None other than Valentine's Day. The day of ultimate love. And remember last week, I spoke to you about all of the various atrocities that had happened on the 14th of February. Chuck this one down to history. Just another historical moment on the 14th of February. His former alma mater, killing 14 pupils and 3 teachers. It is being touted as the worst mass murder in the history of Broward County. And guess what? This is no ghetto. This is no inner city community. This is one of the most affluent communities in Miami. Most affluent. Now, a number of us have thought different things, and we've articulated our thoughts on the atrocities of man, in particular those of the Caucasian race. And I say that with a grain of salt because guess what? Black people have been killing black people for years. Asians have been killing Asians for years. Pakistanis against Indians, Membet, Mempel, they've been doing that for years. Afghanistans have been killing each other for years. Arabs have been killing themselves for years. Nothing new about this. But what is passing strange to me, and I'm certain it has occurred to a number of you, that the great almighty bully, the United States of America, will sanction all of the minnows for doing what it has cornered the market on, and will levy visas and heavy restrictions on people wanting to migrate into their country, while some of the worst atrocities take place within their borders by their own people. Now, I have another clip that I want to play for you because I'm not going to air, I don't want to air my own views. I don't want you to hear me. I want you to hear it from the mouth of an American speaking about his own kind. You know? And he goes on to talk about the various things that cannot be helped in America as long as you are of a certain skin color. Yeah? So, if it were a Mexican who had come in, migrated legally or illegally to America and had committed those 17 killings in one go, there would have been a huge hue and cry over stronger immigration laws, stronger immigration penalties, blah, 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 blah. If it were someone of Arabic descent, oh, let's go over there and bomb them to smithereens. But if you are of a fairer complexion, doesn't seem that there's anything that America can do about it. This is just a synopsis of what he says. I don't think the clip is quite ready yet, so we will go for a break. We're due for a break anyway. We'll go for a break, and then when we come back, hopefully we can play it for you. If not, we'll go straight into my guest. Welcome back, and thank you for staying tuned to what's happening now with Laura. We have been experiencing a little bit of technical difficulty, but that's okay, because we, if anything that DBS well knows is how to move on. And those clips that I promised you earlier in the beginning of the preamble, they're not quite ready. I don't know, for some reason they're not downloading properly, but that's okay. And if I don't get to let you hear, because I think it's something that we all have to listen to when we think of other cultures and other countries, especially the United States of America, as the be all and end all of everything. And when we look at ourselves and think we are shitholes, really, and we absorb all of the insults hurled at us, let's listen to what Americans themselves have to say about themselves, in particular white Americans. But later on, for that, we'll come back to that. But while we're on that tact, I just want us to think about a little bit about some of the things that are trending right now. And one of the things that I heard trending this afternoon, I couldn't believe that we're in 2018, this is what we're talking about lewd behavior of young people. About this video that has been circulating with school children and the lewd behavior at events, public events. And I'm thinking to myself, under what rock did we slither? Under what rock did we slither? Because at the end of the day, lewd behavior has been around for eons. I mean, just think about Combat, and just think about Solo, and just think about all of those cultural things, music and songs and dancing that we so venerate. One could say that they're vulgar and lewd. So why are we harping on young people? Don't get me wrong. I've seen some of the videos and I'm offended. Don't get me wrong. And if I see any of my nieces, I know I don't have any kids, but if I see any of my nieces or any of my charges behaving like that in public, we will have to come to words. But what gives me the moral authority to judge? What gives me the moral? I tell you what gives me the moral authority. When I see young women behave the way that they're behaving in the videos, and their parents or guardians or adults who view these things don't sit with them and tell them and speak to them about the repercussions of such behavior, I'm even more offended. So when we look and we sit or we stand on our soapbox and we look down on young people and we want to preach to them, don't just preach to them that the behavior is lewd and vulgar and disrespectful and immoral. But let's tell them the consequences of their actions. Let's tell them about the potential employers who are out there, who are viewing those videos, studying the faces and watching for when they come across their desk or through their organizations asking for a job and denying them said jobs because of these videos. Let's talk to them about the lascivious old men, and not so old, who view these videos and in their depraved, sick minds look and say, you know what? She's asking for it. Look how she's dancing. Look, she has a man in front and a man behind. Look how she's grinding and bumping onto another female. She's asking for it. So you know, the next time I'm gonna catch her in her slackness, somewhere in a little dark hole, I'm gonna give it to her because she's asking for it. Let's sit down and talk to our young girls and our young boys about their behavior and the consequences of the behavior. Let's not just pontificate, and let's not just stand on our soapboxes and tell them or speak down at them as if we were once not young ourselves and didn't behave. Oh, you know what? Although we behaved in that kind of manner, nobody saw us because we were in a bush somewhere. And because, well, social media wasn't what it is today. And the only social media we had was the Lendus. So rather than just blanketly state those things, let's have a little humanity. Let's have a little empathy, a little understanding, remembering where once we came. I mean, let's not forget that those of us who are held in high esteem and high regard and expect to be the bastions of morality and virtue are not so squeaky clean. I mean, if we can disrespect the highest house of honor in this land, tossing our mace about like so much garbage, using foul language in the House of Parliament, what do we expect from the young ones coming up? What gives us the right to be the moral police? And when we have men and women who claim to represent us and who claim to be the guardians of all that is sacred to us, having children all over the place like weed with so many different mothers, and perhaps even so many different fathers, do we have the right? How are we using our experiences to help further or to build a foundation for the young ones? Are we doing anything like that? Or are we just being hypocrites? You know, somebody once said to me that humanity is a virtue that is preached by many. But as many preach it, none practice it. And yet, everybody is content to hear about it. That's what we are. Nobody practices it, but everybody wants to preach it. Everybody wants to hear it. Everybody's content to hear it, but nobody wants to practice it. It's enough for us to just preach it. That cannot be right. That makes no sense. Anyway, enough about that. And while we're talking about young people, and while we're talking about their lewd behavior and their vulgarity and everything, there is another set of young people who are doing fantastic things. Fantastic things. And you would have heard me talk several times on different shows about the Talent 758 competition that has been put forward by the Alexander Family Foundation. And with me this evening is a representative of the Alexander Family Foundation to talk to us about the Talent 758 competition, which is rolling full steam ahead towards its grand finale tomorrow on the 21st of February. Preparing young people to celebrate themselves, their lives, and independence as we so know it. Welcome, Alvin.
Good evening to you, Laura, and of course, good evening to all your viewers, and I dare say those of us following via Facebook, on social media as well. Thank you for the welcome, and thank you for allowing us at the Alexander Family Foundation and events to have been a part of your shows over the series of the production of Talent 758. We are very thankful and elated to have been on this journey together with you. I think, and DBS.
I think it's the honor is mine to have been brought along onto that journey, because throughout the process, I think we started last year.
Right.
Yes, and been through the four corners of St. Lucia,
Right.
met so many different people,
Definitely.
leading into the quarterfinals, leading down into the semifinals, and now heading into the finals. Tell me, I know what kind of journey and what kind of an experience it was for me, but tell me, from the Family Foundation standpoint, what has the journey meant to you?
Well, for us at the Alexander Family Foundation and events, of course, our mantra is to enable the young people amongst us to be able to have that alternative to what is not normally seen as regular behavior. So we are creating the environment to ensure that young people remain and continue to be productive individuals in society through the use and the broadening of their talent. And so the Talent 758 competition catapults all of this energy, all of this good resource that they have internally, because you will never know how strong an individual is where their talent is concerned until you hear them. And that is a journey that we have been on from the first audition all the way down to this grand final now. We have been surprised by the competitors who came forward. We had 21 good audition young people auditioning, and they have stuck with us throughout the journey, and we have continued to bring them along with us, even though you may not have made it through to one stage of the competition. We ensure that you get on board and you come back, you return as a guest performer, all of that. So for sure, certainly it has meant a rewarding journey. When it was started by the founder of the foundation, Mrs. Melissa Alexander, and her husband Gary, it was a thought at the time, and a thought that became a reality. And so we are definitely proud of where we are with it at this point.
I was at the semifinals, and let me tell you, it's unfortunate that we aren't able to share
Right.
with St. Lucia clippings from the semifinals. But what a fantastic showing! I mean, these guys, all 21 of them, came out to be in the top. What is 8?
Yes, for the semis, Laura, we had about 15 competitors.
Right, 15.
Let's just correct
Yes,
that, because we would have been through
Right.
the quarters. And of course, on stage, we also had guest performances from some of our quarterfinalists who did not make it through. But of course, yes, it was a really, really awesome and fantastic production on the evening. I must say that all of the 15 competitors came out, did their best in order to secure themselves a spot in the top 7, which heads to the grand finals tomorrow. And that, of course, is expected to be another fantastic show with all of the participants, bearing in mind as well that we do have 2 wildcards returning to the competition as well. And of course, we will have a large slate of additional performances coming in to help ensure that the product is what it is in terms of a unique talent contest brought forward in order to continue to generate the revenues that drive the activities of the foundation in respect to our community and social outreach programs.
Right. Now, one of the things that I love about this this talent competition is it's a little bit different from most talent competitions, because most talent competitions concentrate on one genre
Right.
of talent. So it's either a dance competition or a singing competition or a comedy competition or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But this one is all encompassing. So within the cast slated to perform in the finals tomorrow, there are dancers and there are singers. Now, I'll tell you something. In St. Lucia, we love a great singer.
Okay.
We love a great singer. Out of 15
Right.
competitors in the semifinals, how many of them who made it to the finals are dancers?
Dancers. I believe we have 2 dancers remaining, is it? Or we have 5? 5 dancers, correct. So we have 5 dancers in the grand finals tomorrow.
Right. And that is out of a slate of 8 persons initially that was
Right.
made. So out of 8, you had 5 dancers,
Right.
3 singers. That is almost unheard of. Not in St. Lucia. Right, St. Lucia? Almost unheard of. Every single dancer who entered that competition, who made it to the finals, made it to the semifinals, made it to the finals.
Right.
And that was amazing. And there was some serious talent when it came to those dances. I mean, we have a contortion. Hey, Rebecca, a contortionist, I call
Right,
her,
right.
from my community of Labrie.
Labrie, right.
Yeah.
That's Rebecca Louis.
That
right,
is it.
Correct.
I mean, she is fantastic. We had other dancers spanning different genres.
Right.
African dancers.
Right. We have the Afrobeat dancers, which have been remarkable so far in the productions. They are, you know, a group of young people, and I mean all of the dancers, as you say, come out and they do their best, and not only do their best, but they are wow factors coming into this. And I mean, I was totally impressed at the semifinals when I saw some of the productions that they came out with, even with the singers as well. You have that same energy of, you know, really getting in there and bringing it out at the best, and you could have never assumed or presumed what would have been the next action that they were gonna let off on the stage, because they captivated your mind from the start to the finish, and it has been marvelous so far.
What amazed me at the semifinals is that you're right, you just never knew what was going to come out next, who was going to perform at their best, at their peak, what they were going to come up with. And you saw some of the big giants, the big names coming into the competition, not making it to the finals, and some of the persons who were the underdogs rising to the challenge and making. I'm so sorry, St. Lucia, that you can't see and be a part of what we were a part of, because we
Right.
were at the competition. We saw, we were floored, we were amazed at the talent. And the amazing thing about it is the talent came from all over.
All over, right.
All
Certainly.
over. We had people from Mico, Soufrière, Labrie, Choiseul, Canaries, Castries, you
Right.
name it,
it
they
was
were there.
Right. And all of this happened in the Mecca, the tourism Mecca, I call it, of St. Lucia, Soufrière. And of course, we were at the Mancobaril estate.
Fantastic
and I mean,
setting.
it was just remarkable. The ambience of the area, the lighting, everything in terms of the production. I must say, you know, a big commendation goes out to the entire production team who worked on this, along with the participants who made the show what it was.
Absolutely.
And I believe, you know, Laura, they are all so excited about what is about to happen tomorrow, and I dare say that we are ready to hit it for season 2 of the competition in 2018. You know.
Absolutely. I mean, I was amazed at, you know, just the attendance. I thought, what, for a little while, because you know, St. Lucians, we come out to everything
Everything
late. I mean, the competition actually started 2 hours late, which was a big sore point for me. And for me, especially in particular, because I had brought people in from
Early.
abroad, like
Right.
foreigners, and they're just sitting there looking at me, and I'm like sitting there looking at them, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. You know, it's high time that in this country, 2018, I mean, we're talking about poor economic returns on events, and we're talking about productivity dropping in whatever, but we ourselves are our biggest hindrances. I mean, some of the competitors were late, and that was a sore point for me.
Right.
But the patrons, I mean, you're coming to something, you've paid your monies, you know it's going to be starting at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever time it was supposed to be starting. You can't be straggling in 2 hours late and be like, oh wow, well, I'm early because it hasn't started. Well, of course, we want to make sure that the patrons get
value
for the money. So, you
Right.
know, we waited a little bit, and those persons who actually came in early, and funny enough, the ones who came in early were the ones who came from further
Right,
away.
right.
You know, and I couldn't really understand how they could be a little bit jittery and, you know, wanting the show to start and whatever.
right.
So this is something that the organizers have to work on. And,
Well, definitely, Laura, I can tell you, I'm going on the record and say that we do intend to begin bang on time, 8 p.m. tomorrow. As you know, it is Independence Day and it is the grand finale all competitors have been in preparation mode and they are aware of the time that they need to be at the set for, and so we do not expect to make a late start for the grand finals. If we do, it will not be beyond 2 minutes. MC Donnaville will not allow that show to start 2 minutes late.
And and that's the thing I loved about Donnaville.
Right.
Donnaville, usually MCs are later.
Yeah.
They make the prima donna entrance and they come in.
Right.
He was there on time. And I
Yeah.
must commend him for that. I appreciated that he was there on time. So St. Lucians, those of you who are going to be coming out to the grand finale, please, you heard Alvin, and I think he speaks clearly and solidly for the Souffle Foundation, the Alexander Family Foundation and events, when he says they're starting bang on, and if they're going to be late, it's not going to be beyond 2 minutes. You gotta be there. You gotta be there on time, because they will not wait for you.
Right, certainly not. And I mean, we have been working hard at the production, and so we want everyone to be there, including the participants have been working hard, Laura. I must say that the investments that some of these young people are making, along with their team, their production teams that are working with them behind the scenes, their coaches, the investment that they have made should not go to waste. They want the audience to see it. They want you as a patron to see it. And so you are required to come out and be there on time.
Tell the people some of the genres of music that we can expect, some of the types of performances that we can expect.
Certainly, in terms of the production tomorrow, we are gonna definitely see dancing, and we're gonna see unique dancing. You're not just gonna see the usual industry contemporary stuff. You're gonna get dance that is of the creative nature, because the competition bolsters creative arts, and so you will find a lot of that. In terms of the singing, incorporation of the costuming and the whole stage personality and presence, the singers are going to be bringing that to you, and you will have genres from soca all the way down to hip-hop, R&B, Afrobeat. I mean, we have seen some gospel, we have seen some really, should I say it, but unique performances. I would just say unique, because the word that I would have used probably is not allowed for broadcast. So it has been so fantastic, right, Laura, that you would not believe what we have been getting out of, and you would not say that probably a local young person could go to that length and be able to perform these kinds of material.
Tell us how, if one wanted to be able to attend this competition as a spectator, tell the audience how they could be a part of this Talent 758 grand finale.
Right, definitely. Tomorrow, I believe all the Soufriere buses are still en route. But beyond that, you are able to make your way if you are driving individually or personally. You can call up one of your favorite taxi cabs, whatever it is. There are some horses around as well.
Yes,
I want to encourage you.
All roads.
Right, all roads lead to Soufriere. So
absolutely,
no matter what it is that you have, we want to encourage you to come on down to the Mount Coberil Estate. This is where the grand finale will take place. It was the home of the semi-finals, and it will remain the home for our grand finale for the 2017-2018 season 1 of the competition. And so come on down tomorrow to Mount Coberil and join us as we put on yet another spectacular and magnificent production for you, the people.
So you said 2017-2018 production, because the journey actually started in just 2017.
Correct.
And it's culminating. Is it possible, do you think, that we could see us this year having 2 Talent 758 competition? Because
well, the year is quite young, and I must say that that's a challenge that we may have to put out to Melissa and Gary. But of course, we do have Curves with Confidence coming up as well, which is another production of the foundation. So you never know what is possible. We may see seasons 2 and 3 happen within cycle. You never know.
You just never know. It's anything can happen. Now, tickets cost.
Tickets are gonna be costing a total of $30 at the gate. That is without ticket. You pay $30. If you have your ticket, it's gonna be available at $25 entry. So you can purchase your ticket at the gate prior to the competition start. Once the competition starts, then it's gonna be at $30. Children pay $10 to enter.
And children being under 16?
Right. Children under 16 pay $10. And so these are the prices in relation to entry. Remember, if you come to the venue early, you will be able to get your ticket at $25. Thereafter, once the competition the first bell would have knocked, or MC Donaville would have let out the first bellow from his innermost being, then that means the price moves up to $30 tomorrow evening.
So this is your encouragement to get there early, you know, and trust me, believe me when I say, you want to be there from the first note that is sung or danced, as the case may be. Tickets are only $25 prior to the show starting, $10 for children under 16, and all roads lead to Soufrière.
It's definitely for an 8 p.m. sharp on the dot commencement.
Now, tell us a little bit about the judging. I know there is one particular judge that has been throughout, who has been there from auditions right through to the semifinals, and he will continue to be there at the grand finale.
Right.
But we're going to, I assume, I understand that we're going to have a cast of judges that are seasoned professionals in their rights.
Definitely. We have a cast of experienced and seasoned individuals, as you mentioned, Laura, and they will be the ones you know, helping us on that journey along with the audience in selection of the top 3. Right, we are gonna be you know, giving awards for the top 3 positions. Definitely all participants will also be getting awards, but of course we have a full slate of 5 professional judges who will sit and of course be adjudicating this the wonderful production tomorrow evening. And of course they come from all walks of life in St. Lucia, but of course understand the music, understand the arts, and understand what it is in terms of production and the quality of show and the standard that we want to be embedded as it relates to the judging aspect of the competition. Of course, our criteria are quite strict, and so all individuals participating in the competition have been briefed of the criteria ahead of production tomorrow, and so we are looking forward to it being another fantastic one with them.
Now, this competition continues to be one, it's a game changer, and it continues to be one that is eclectic and different and exciting. Right. So I understand that there is going to be a twist to the finals, but there are 10 people in the finals, 8 haven't made it through, and 2 wild cards.
Right.
Tell us about that little twist that there is in the finals.
Well, for the finals, we have 2 wild cards in, as you mentioned. They would have been at the semis, and of course because of the fact that they came quite close to being in for the grand finale, we have returned the wild cards, and throughout the competition we have had the return of wild cards from the quarters all the way up, and so we brought in 2 wild cards, and so we're gonna have a twist. We have 2 rounds in the competition where 5 will be knocked out, and then you have a final 5 going through to compete for the grand prize of the $3,000 and additional consolation prizes, compliments our partners. And so within that final 5, this is where the top 3 will come from. And so it is done in such a way, like probably you can mirror it towards the Miss Universe pageant or something of that nature, where you have the rounds, 2 rounds, and then you have a return, and you know, we're making it rather interesting for the public and also the competitors themselves, because you have to give your best out of the rounds in order for you to get into the final round.
And this is what I love. This is what I love. I love everything about this competition. I think I love the when it started. I think the quarterfinals started around Christmas time,
right,
and that was
December
always a wonderful
23rd.
Right. It was always a wonderful thing. It's always just before something, right? So it was wonderful because, you know, Christmas time is a time noted for caroling and singing and merriment, and that was a great precursor to Christmas itself.
Right.
And then now you have on the cusp, on the eve of independence, you have this celebrating talent of young people, because they are the ones of the future. They are the ones going to be ushering the new era, the new generation. And I love the fact that it's around independence. And I'm hoping that if this is kept around independence, the culmination, I'm hoping that Events Company of St. Lucia will come on board and support and give a further impetus to this event, because I think it's one with a difference. Yeah, talent competitions and talent concerts and stuff like that have been done before, but this one is so very, very exciting. It's palpable. I don't think any competition has ever asked of its competitors to prepare for 2 legs and you're not sure.
Yeah.
You know, how do you decide? I can just imagine the competitors. How do you decide, okay, which one of my renderings am I going to put first that's going to usher me into the final 5? Am I going to be knocked out by a wild card? Help!
Those things,
you know, all of those
right.
things. I think it's so exciting. It's palpable, and those persons I've spoken to are very excited about being coming out and supporting. And you know what's lovely though? Every contestant brings their posse.
Right. Definitely.
There's going to be lots of noise in the house.
The team support has been electric throughout. I mean, from the quarters all the way down. Some of the competitors at the quarterfinal stages were a little bit cool and had the what I would say butterfly in their stomach feeling, because you know they would have felt that probably not enough time was passed on with them getting in touch with their communities, their fan base. But throughout coming out of quarters into semis, which was held already. Of course, we had a really fantastic build up in terms of crowd support, community
all
support.
Gloves were off, you know.
Right.
People were getting, and you know, but also, whilst there was that level of competitiveness, there was also that level of support for all contestants.
Definitely.
All of the patrons, all the persons who were in attendance were supporting and singing and not jeering, but cheering on the competitors, regardless of who their horse was in the race. And I thought that was fantastic.
That is something unique about our audience, our crowd that has been following the competition from inception. They have been rather supportive of all the competitors, and I must say as well, the competitors themselves have been supportive of each other. You have what we call an extended family within the ranks of the participants. They're in this as a competition, yes, but they take their family seriously. You see the guys cooperating, you know, giving a hand to each other, giving tips to each other, and that is something that is remarkable for a competition, because you know, when it comes to competition mode, I don't want to let you have my tip. I don't want to let you have what I think that makes me strong or makes me, you know, over the top, and they are sharing. And
what's remarkable is even after the semi-finals, there are those who didn't make it but are still a part of the family and still
definitely
you know supporting those who made it and still egging them on and giving them tips and you know and that kind of thing.
I've had the opportunity of seeing some of the guys after the semis, and they are really fantastic. I want to say good evening to Manasseh Stanislaus this evening. He will be there performing as a guest performer. Of course, he will join as well Team Vacuum from the area as well. They will come in to give guest performances along with other competitors. All of the 21 competitors that we started this journey with will be at the Moncoberil Estate tomorrow as well, and so we want to commend each and every one of them, and we can tell you that you can look forward to the very best coming out of these young people, even though they would have, you know, probably made it through season 1, not get to the final stage, but they are going to continue the journey, hoping probably to compete in the next cycle as well.
Wonderful. And you have an opportunity, St. Lucia, to win one of 2 tickets to the Talent 758 competition in Soufriere tomorrow. I'm going to give you 2 questions. 2 different people are going to call up and earn an opportunity to come down and be a part of this fantastic event. It's going to be so super lit. It's going to be superb. It's going to be magnificent. It's going to be exquisite. We're due for a break, but when we come back, we will lead in with our first question to earn you a ticket to Talent 758 competition. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and thank you for staying tuned to what's happening now with Laura. Now we're going to put on the number on the screen because a number of people last week said we didn't put up the number long enough and they didn't have the number stored in their phones. So those persons who watch loyally every week,
right,
they had an advantage. Well, guess what? It simply means you've always got to stay tuned to what's happening now with Laura on a Tuesday, because you just never know. It's a new season. We're going to be giving more giveaways. We're going to be talking about greater things. We're going to be highlighting more people and different things of a positive nature, but we're also going to be hitting you with the hard facts and realities of life. So always be tuned, because you just never know. Because after all, we like it like that, right, Alice? We like it like that. That's how we like it. So before we went on the break, I told you that we're going to lead in with a giveaway. We're going to give away one ticket to the Talent 758 competition. The number to call is 451-9788, or you can, not for the ticket, you can't send me a WhatsApp message, but you can send me your messages on WhatsApp 2846536. But don't try get in touch with me via email, because I can't seem to get my email to sync right now. So a little technical difficulty here. I'm going to be receiving your WhatsApp. I have already started receiving your WhatsApp messages. That's 2846536. But in order to win this ticket right here in my hand, you must call in to 451-9788. And the first question is, who are the organizers of the Talent 758 competition?
Rather interesting question there.
Yes, they've got a call. So if they've been watching and they've been listening, they would know that there is a duo behind this foundation. But the name of the foundation, what is the name of the foundation? And you will earn yourself a ticket to the Talent 758 competition. Now, we've been talking a little bit about some of the guest performers, and we said that you're going to be bringing back some of the notable performances of the semi-finals, but who did not make it.
The semis and the quarters.
Right.
We consider them to be part of the Talent 758 Season 1 family. So performers from the Talent 758 Season 1 family will be returning to, give their guest performances. Along with that, we have A1 Jugglers, DJ Bobby, and of course the team from Buster Sounds on the sound production tomorrow evening as well. So we have a full slate. We have Oompa. We also have Mach 11 as well.
Wow.
And of course like we mentioned before, the other performers from the family of the Talent 758 Season 1. And Mach 11, of course, notably was able to be at our semi-final, but for some reason, Mac just figured that the competition would have been kicking still, and so he was unable to perform on the night because he got there a little bit late, because the entire thing had wrapped up in terms of the production on stage. But of course, he will be with us. He did apologize, of course, for not being able to be there, but he did of course indicate that he will be on tomorrow, and we have the videos of endorsement of the competition all on social media.
Wonderful. So we have our very first caller trying to win a ticket to Talent 758 competition tomorrow. Good evening, you're on the air.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Hello?
It's interesting to know who the two wild cards are.
I'm sorry?
Hello?
Yes, I didn't hear your question.
I said it's interesting to know who the two wild cards are.
It is interesting to know who they are?
Yes, sir.
You want to know who they are?
No, I said it's interesting to know who's back in the competition.
Okay, but we're not talking about the wild cards now, are we? We've asked a question for you to win a ticket to the Talent 758 competition. Would you like to have the opportunity to answer the question?
I'm aware, yes, I heard the question.
Yes. So your answer is?
Nelson Gary, the Alexander Family Foundation.
Well, you correct and then you're not correct. So we want the full name of the foundation.
The full name of the foundation?
Yes.
So the Alexander Family and Events Foundation.
Let's give you one more try. One more try.
Yeah.
Yes. You've got all the elements there, but you just have them in the wrong order.
So the Alexander Family, it's AFFT.
Well, she gave
Okay,
the
so you have
abbreviated
the abbreviation.
correct,
So let's put
right.
the words to the abbreviation now.
So the Alexander Family Foundation and Events.
Correct. And
Right,
you're
right.
calling from where?
Sulphur City.
You're calling from Sulphur City. Congratulations, my dear. Just stay on the line and give your name and number to our director, and we will be able to get in touch with you and tell you how to collect your ticket.
No problem.
Okay, congratulations once more. And then we have it. We have had our very first winner, and I'm hoping that she's going to bring in her own posse, and she's going to be bringing in at least one other person with her.
Right.
Because you can't just go to a competition, an event such as this by yourself. You
Right.
got to bring somebody with you. So we're hoping that she brings somebody with her, or she brings a slew of people.
Well, I can say, Laura, that she asked a question in regards to the wild cards. That is the opportunity there to come to the competition
That
and
is it.
find out who they are. As she noted, it would have been interesting to know as we go through the process. As I have mentioned before, the wild cards you've seen the emergence of wild cards throughout, and so this is not a new cycle. It is a part of the competition because the wild card element creates that, okay, I got to work harder now because I don't know who is coming in as the wild cards. I know my other competitors, and I can, probably juggle myself around being in the top. But this time, with the wild cards, you have that uncertainty, and so you have to
Absolutely.
work harder on your production.
We have our next caller online. Thank you for calling. You're on the air. Hello. Okay. Right. So I guess this caller was a Papi show. They weren't quite ready. They weren't quite ready for. They weren't ready yet.
Right,
They weren't
right,
ready
right,
yet.
right.
Yeah. But yeah. And the other thing about having the wild cards is giving that further spark of hope. Yeah. So I didn't make it. I didn't, have that extra. But I have a chance at redemption.
Right.
I have the chance at redemption. And we saw the wild cards element coming through to the semifinals from the quarterfinals, and now the reemergence of wild cards in the finals. So it's nothing new. It is
Right.
a part of the show.
Definitely, it is a part of the show, and we want to maintain that. We also want to say thank you to our many partners. We'll get to the partners in a moment, Laura, but we want to say many thanks to them.
Before we get to the partners, we have another call online. Thank you for calling. You're on the air. Hello. Okay, I don't think that person is quite ready. They're probably listening to themselves on the television rather than on the phone. And callers, please, when you're calling, remember that there's a delay. So what you're hearing on tele is there's a delay between what we're saying and when you hear it on television. So when you're calling, listen to us via your handset and not on the telly, because there will be a pause, a long pause. And furthermore, when you're calling, please turn down the volume of your television, because there will be an uncomfortable feedback in our ears. There's another call online. Thank you for calling. You're on the air. Hello. Okay, so that caller, I don't know if we're having some technical difficulties,
Hello?
but hello.
Mrs.
Yes,
Alexander.
you're on the air.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Alvin.
Hi,
good
May.
evening,
How are
Melissa.
you?
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm sorry I could not make it on the show, but thank you, Alvin, for representing the foundation.
Thank you so much, Melissa, for allowing me.
You're most welcome.
So tell us, how excited are you? This has been your baby for the last several months, and it's finally being delivered. How do you feel, knowing that this is a marquee event for your foundation and it's becoming a reality?
It's been overwhelming, but I've been strong for us. I have a support system. My husband is around. I have my team members, and they rally with me. And Alvin, he's always there. I always bug him, but he's always try to be there. My brother-in-law, but my support system is very strong. So you find it's been challenging. However, I'm somebody that don't give up, and I'm passionate about what I do. And the fact that it goes, or whatever we make, the funding, it goes back to the public, that's all I'm worried about.
Right. And so it's even more important for persons to come out to this competition, because it's not a money making or profit driven. This is a non-profitable organization, a not-for-profit organization, and all funding, all receipts at the gates and receipts at the bar and at the food court is funneled back into the community, helping those who are marginalized and less fortunate.
Yes, it is. We have not done anything for the coming year to give out any hampers or whatnot. This is in our bag to do, and we are looking at a school to help out. We have talked about it in the foundation, and we're looking forward to deliver everything that we have spoken about and let the public know that this is what we're going to do. And from there, we head into the other project, and after, we will be going to Curves with Confidence to go back into the school children. At least last year we gave 25 children school supplies, so this year we're looking at 50 to 75 children.
Awesome. When is Curves with Confidence slated to be presented to the public?
Curves with Confidence, I've already have all six ladies. So what we're doing, the process of putting things together and dating the show, but we are looking at May, the same time last year. So we're looking at that month, May.
Right, and
I'm not sure.
And last year was persons came out in full support. There was only standing room at the Curves, the inaugural Curves with Confidence, and I expect this year you expect an even bigger crowd.
I got a panic attack when I saw people.
And so we're expecting that kind of a crowd come tomorrow for your other marquee event, that being of the Talent 758 competition.
And the talent that we have tomorrow, they're unique talents. So we need people to come out and see this. We have that name, Rebecca Louis, she's a consultant.
Right.
We have the Afro dancers. We have Shaquille.
The Afro dancers being dancers of an African, African Caribbean
portrayal. Yes.
Yes. And there is Alex Klein, who's gospel, and he's both gospel and he has his own and rap.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we have. I can't wait for me to bring out the 2 wild cards, because I cannot wait, because persons really asked for them. So I had to listen, make my decision, and it was between the foundation to bring them back.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm happy to do that.
Great. Well, thank you so much, May. For I can hear the baby in the background calling for your attention. So we'll let you go for now, but thank you so much for calling in, and I hope that St. Lucians are listening, all of St. Lucia, and all roads will definitely lead towards Soufrière tomorrow.
Certainly. Thank you very much, Laura, for having Alvin on the show. Sorry again, I could not make it.
Absolutely.
But hopefully, in the future, I will be there.
Absolutely wonderful. No problem.
Thank you
Okay,
very
then
much
you
and
take
good
care.
night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
Right. So as she was saying, there's Afrobeat dancers who do the African Caribbean beat dance portrayal. You've got
Right.
Rebecca Louis, who is
Right.
a contortionist par
She
excellence,
is
self-taught.
excellence, and I think the only time I would have seen something like this is with the 9-year-old princess back in my home community in Dominica. And so I have seen talents emerging here that I think are fantastic, and once given the right market, they will be able to conquer it. And I think this is what Talent 758 brings out in terms of the unique talents. Of course, we have Alex Klein, Kamani Felion, Jamie Rene, Rebecca Louis, Rhea Adoja. We also have Shaquille Florence and Dawn Lucien, who submit, plus our 2 wildcards in regards to the talents who will compete tomorrow.
Are the contestants, are they participating in any random order? How are they coming on?
Well, the numbers are, I think, per their placements into the competition round of that evening in terms of the finals and who made it through. I believe the competitors are placed within that order, and each competitor is informed of their performing order and will be coming on stage bang on time. Like I said, the first act will be on at 8 p.m. and so if you know you're going to be supporting any particular act, you as members of the public, you are not preview probably to the performing order, and that is why it's even better that you get there on time, because you do not want to miss Rhea if you're a Rhea supporter. You do not want to miss Jamie if you are a Jamie supporter. And so we encourage you to be there on time for a bang on time start of 8 p.m.
Okay, so it's time for us to give away our second ticket, and I'm going to ask that you name 2 guest artists going to be performing and 2 participating contestants.
Interesting.
I mean, this is it. I mean, this is going to be epic.
EPIC.
That is it.
Right.
That is it. So you've got to come out and we can't just give it to just anybody just for, you know,
Giving its sake.
Yeah, just for giving its sake. These tickets are highly
Valuable.
requested. Yeah. So we're giving you a ticket,
the opportunity
to come in, bring your posse with you. So you gotta answer. Name 2 guest artists and 2 participating contestants. That is it. We have a call. We have a very first caller.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night.
2 guest artists are the Mark 11
Mark 11.
and J Buzz.
Oh no, is he?
Yes.
Oh, because you didn't mention him before.
Right,
Okay,
right.
all right. So J Buzz. I'm sorry. I'm going by what he said earlier. So J Buzz and Mark 11.
Yes.
And 2 contestants are.
Rhea Ajuda and Kimani Felion.
Is she correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Absolutely wonderful. Correct. Where are you calling from?
Sufre.
Oh gosh, man. Super
The
in the
Sulphur City
house.
people.
Sulphur City people ain't giving nobody a chance. You're right there in Super. Ain't giving nobody a chance to come down to grab those tickets. But that's okay. That's all right. You've just won yourself a ticket. Are you coming with anybody?
Yes, I will.
Absolutely. So you absolutely need to come down. Otherwise, my ticket stays in my hand. You know what I'm saying? So if you need to come down with a posse. Who's your favorite contestant? Were you at the semis?
Yes, I was Kimani.
Kimani?
Kamani Felion.
Oh, okay. And the Afro dancers?
Yeah.
They're wonderful, aren't they? Oh my gosh, I have never seen young people move so much. It's almost like these people have no bones in their bodies, right?
Right.
So you stay on the line and you'll give your name and number that we can contact you, and we'll tell you how to collect your ticket. Right. So we've given away 2 tickets. If you did not call, if you snoozed, you lost. Yeah?
Right.
Because we gave away 2 tickets, and these people have promised to bring down their posse to cheer on their favorites. You know, I have my favorites. They have their favorites. I'm certain if you don't yet have a favorite, when you get there and you see the wealth of talent that is going to be presented to you, you will also have your favorites. Who's going to make it into the second round of the finals? It could be anybody.
That is interesting to
Will a wild card come out, wow the socks off the judges, and knock off one of the giants and top contenders? You never know. It has happened. It has happened, and it can happen again. What else can we expect?
Oh, well, definitely tomorrow we, like I said, we have a full slate of guest and participating performances, and so we want to say many thanks and commendation to all who have been on board. We had a bit of a disappointment in the quarterfinals round of the competition where our guest performers, our engaged guest performers did not show up for the show on that evening, and so we want to assure the public, as we have always done at the foundation level, to let them know that we do things and we do it the right way, the proper way. We are not into false advertising or pretense advertising to get people into the arena. So we do want to apologize for the missed performances at the quarterfinals, because some of our patrons have raised that concern, and we have had to go through the process of explaining to the public why we think, or finding a reason as to why these performances did not make it, of course having not even received an apology from them. But for sure, tomorrow's show is gonna be bang on time, slated with our guest performances, Umpa, Mac 11, J-Buds as well. J-Buds, as we know, hails from Sulphur City area, and so he's definitely on show tomorrow, as well as Manasseh Stanislaus. We have also, as I said earlier on tonight, we will have Team Vacuum performing as well, and as well as our 10 competitors who are competing. You can look forward to a fantastic production. The team continues to work. I mean, I had a glimpse of one of our production team members earlier today, and I'm telling you that after this they need to take a week of sleep.
Whoa.
That's how hard they have been working to ensure that tomorrow the production goes off without a glitch, and ensure that everything happens the way it is supposed to happen.
Absolutely. And again, just remind the viewers of the cost of tickets.
Definitely. Our tickets for the production tomorrow cost for the patrons, that is going to be a total of $30 EC if you're purchasing at the gate once the production has commenced. If you're purchasing before that, it will be $25 EC, and then of course children will be $10 for entry. We want to say thank you to our many partners who have been working with us throughout the competition so far. We want to say thank you to Sugar Beach, a Viceroy Resort. We say thank you as well to Digicel, who has come on board with us on the production of the activity. We say thank you as well to Courts, and we also say thank you to Scott Sports and Awards, as well as SMJ, who are on board with the production tomorrow evening, and we definitely thank them so much, as well as all of the members of the production team. We're talking from sound to DJ to security to the law enforcement, and of course a big thank you to the St. Lucia, the Royal St. Lucia Police Force authorities, who will be on site as well and assisting in the production tomorrow.
It's gonna be a safe event.
Safe zone, right.
Yeah, there's no bad mind, you know.
Right.
You know, they can't come in there because security is going to be tight. Now, remember I told you I love this competition. I love Alexander Family Foundation and events. I love it. And one of the things I love about Talent 75 is that it's so versatile. It's so dynamic. It's always changing. There's always an element of surprise. There's always something making your heart go, oh my gosh, what's going on? Fresh off the press is the performance. How the performances, how persons are going to be coming on. The lineup.
The performance line.
That is it.
I can't believe we're going to reveal this.
This is
fresh
hot
off
the press. The performance lineup. Do you want to hear it? Do you want to hear? I don't think so. Do you think we should tell them? You think we should tell them? You know. Anyway, but I can't contain myself. You know, one of the things about me when I was a kid, nobody told me any secrets because I couldn't. Surprises, oh no. And I always had the biggest surprise because I always, oh my gosh, I love surprises. But no, I can't contain the excitement. So Coming up at number 1, and trust me, you want to be there at 7:30, because first on the lineup is the Afrowe dancers. Let me tell you,
About to get wow. Yeah?
African beat to boot. These children, young people, I'm dating myself.
Yes.
Young people, they can dance. These guys, they're like amazing. Authentic African dancing. At the number 2 position, we have Alex Klein, our
Right.
resident rapper.
Yep.
Then at number 3, we have Kimani Felion. At number 4, we have our very first wild card. At number 5, we have Jamie Rennie.
Right.
Be prepared to be wooed.
Wowed. Right.
This velvet voice. I mean, the ladies all scream his name when he is announced. When he opens up his mouth and belts out that first note, you gotta be there. At number 5, we have Jamie Rennie. At number 6, one of my personal favorites, Rebecca Louis, our
Right.
own resident contortionist. Let me tell you, self-taught. Self-taught. You've got to be there. You've got to be there. At number 7, we have Ria Ajoda. Gorgeous. I'm certain when she, at the end of the
Right.
night, she's going to get herself several proposals because she is gorgeous.
I think Valentine. It's still the Valentine week.
Yes,
She might be getting some
absolutely.
some additional
Feel
Valentine
free
requests.
to bring in your chocolates and your
everything.
wine and your
Right.
flowers because she is gorgeous, lovely. At number 8, we have our second wild card. At number 9, we have Shaquille Florence, and at number 10, we have Dawn Lucien.
Right.
Amazing lineup. So let me tell you, if dancing is your thing, be there for 8. If you want to be wowed, be there for 8. If you want to see something fantastic out of this world, be there for 8. Because regardless of whomever started the show, if it weren't the Afrowe dancers, you would be missing out on a lot.
Definitely, Laura, definitely. I want to agree with you on that because we have said it tonight that this production has been one that has made several strides and surprises have come along the way, and we have just been wowed from the start up until this grand finale moment. And so we are not bragging it out of the fact that, you know, we just want to brag it. It is a reality, and that is to alert the other persons who are out there who are talented that you should not miss out on season 2 when it is launched, because for sure you would want to be a part of this process, because you will see some of these competitors returning again, and this time I'm certain that we might have over 40 competitors to deal with.
Let me tell you, I think this is fantastic. I've been on this journey from the beginning, from the inception and to the end.
Right.
And I will tell you, some of those persons in the finals, they happened to be there quite by accident. I'm talking about Rebecca Louis.
Yep.
She didn't know
Right.
that auditions were taking
Right.
place in Vieux Fort.
That is quite correct.
Her mom passed by and saw the sign and said, "What? You're auditioning for talent?" I'm going to... Left whatever she was doing in Vieux Fort on that day, went down to Labrie, grabbed her daughter and brought her, and today she's a forerunner in the Talent 758 competition. That is karma. That is all the stars aligning.
And also notably Alex as well. The very same thing happened.
Yes.
He had to meet some friends who were coming somewhere in town and happened to pass by, saw that we were auditioning, and he figured like, oh, you all having something, and then and there he popped out and...
But the amazing thing
Open,
about
you know?
amazing thing about Alex is that the way he came in, that was a fox, you know. We're
Right,
thinking,
right.
because I was at that audition,
Right.
and I'm thinking, he's thinking, can I watch the auditions? We're like, no, you can't watch the auditions, but if you want to audition,
you can
And I'm
audition,
thinking to
yeah.
myself, this boy ain't got no damn talent. That's why he's asking, and blew the judges away.
Right.
That's what we're talking about. And today, he's a giant in the Talent 758, a forerunner. So you just never know when talent is going to come out. You just have to be your authentic self. You just have to come out and just let it out.
Right.
You just never know where it will take you.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Final thoughts. We're running out of time.
Definitely, Laura. Let me say a thank you to all our viewers as well for continuing to follow. You can follow the Alexander Family Foundation and events on social media via our Instagram and Facebook pages. Our YouTube channel is also up and running. Of course, all of the productions will be loaded at a later date onto the YouTube channel, so you'll be able to view them for yourself if you did not get the opportunity to come to the competition. And of course, we are available on Facebook at AFFE SLU, so you can use the @ symbol AFFE SLU or Alexander Family Foundation and Events on Facebook. You find us there. Of course, feel free to hit us up in our inbox should you have any information, requests, or would you like to probably put in a pre-order for your ticket for the finals tomorrow. Hit up the page. I'm sure that we, the part of the administrative team, will get your information and of course contact you with that information as well as it relates to collecting your tickets. So do contact us, feel free, and come on out to the grand finale tomorrow. It is expected, like I said, to be a wow experience that you cannot afford to miss, and we thank you, Laura.
Tickets are still being sold at airlines. Does airlines still have tickets?
Actually, no.
Oh.
All tickets have returned to base and will only be sold, like I said, from early at the venue tomorrow. You would be able to get your tickets at $25, and as I said, from 8 p.m. once the competition kicks off, we go to $30. So there are no more tickets available at our early outlets, and so you won't be able to find that there tomorrow.
Right, but let me tell you, I am willing to take calls and to facilitate you wanting tickets until when you get there to the gate, that you're not waiting and saying, okay, well, pre-order, you can hit me up to 46536. I can facilitate that for you so that when you get there, your ticket is waiting for you. Okay? You can, like Alvin says, go on Facebook and send out a private message or whatever, however you guys are working it out.
Via the private message, you can inbox the page of the Alexander Family Foundation with your name, contact details, of course indicating your telephone number for return calls, and we will facilitate you in terms of pre-orders, of course, and you would pre-order. Try not pre-ordering one ticket because you may not get.
Right.
But order from 2 go up.
Yeah.
You would be able to get tickets available to you because they're packaged out to suit in that regard.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is it. All roads lead to Soufriere tomorrow, and if you haven't made up your mind, you need to make up your mind now. Trust me, you're not going to. It's going to be one of the best $25 you've spent all year. I'm telling you, the year is fresh, and I'm telling you, it's gonna be well spent money. Come down to Soufriere and not just come in for the entertainment value, but come in for the social impact value.
Right.
Because
Definitely.
what the foundation is doing, whatever funds is generated through this competition and other events that they put on, is not to go in their pockets. Trust me on this. It's not to go into their pockets. It's to give back to those of us amongst us who are less fortunate and marginalized, cannot afford. We often lament the fact that those who have don't share. Here is a young couple giving off of themselves, their time and their talents. Monies too, because it costs a pretty penny to put on this competition. So that young people can have a platform by which to reach out to others, a platform to build up and to hone their talents. Come out and support them. The monies that you spend may one day be returned to you tenfold. This is where we say goodnight, and again I want to apologize for not having been able to share the clips with you, but we may be able to do that next week, although next week it's going to be all about us women, and we may not have the time, but we will find some time to squeeze it in because I think it's very important. But not to dilute that, come on down to Soufriere, Monaco Burial Estate, and take in the Talent 758 competition. Until next week, adieu.